In this video, I'm showing you how I achieved this hairstyle on my son, this cornrow. It does look a little stitched. You can stitch it if you like. I already started with parting off the curve section, but I do want to say that you want to start off in sections. You want to start off by parting down the middle, and then once you have it down the middle and half on each side, like his hair is basically cut in half if you think about a fraction, then you're going to cut each half, which is each side, in half. And for him, that is parting from his arch of his eyebrow or the top of where his hairline turns, and I part that down the middle, which is this section you see right here, even though I've already started parting for the arch, like the turned braid. But each section have different amount of braids. In the back, it does tend to get a little bit more skinnier due to your hair is skinnier around the back nape part, and that just means that you need to part a little bit thinner as far as once it get a little bit past like his ear, I would say. But I hope this all is making sense. This hairstyle is more so for a person who's been braiding for a while, a master braider, or someone that just is comfortable with doing cornrows. But yeah, so you basically have 4 sections. This section that I'm working on will have 3 braids. Then the section above it will have 2. So in total, it will be 10 because it is a identical size type of hairstyle. So it could be a little bit more tedious when trying to make sure the curves are exactly the same and the braids are exactly the same. So you really want to make sure that you know what you're doing when doing this hairstyle. I hope I explained it to the best of my ability. But if you can see this part at the top where it's ending off of his hair, you can see it's kind of lined up to his arch of his eyebrow. But that's not the same for everybody. Again, you want to create a middle part, and then on each half, each side, you want to then go in half of that, and you should have 4 sections on each side. Again, this side will have 3. And if you are finding value to this content, make sure you hit that subscribe. I do post a lot of male hairstyles that you guys can try. I actually have a playlist, so go check that out as well. I'm telling you, if you are really a male or female that's just going down this journey of trying to find hair inspiration, my channel is full of different hairstyles. And if you have a hairstyle in mind that you want me to try, just comment that below. If you have any questions about what I used and all that, I'll have that in the description box of where I order all my products. And if you have any questions in general just about this hairstyle, just make sure you comment below. I do want to say that cornrows can be very to the best tricky, of my ability, and especially good because it gets very skinny towards the nape back part. Back into the hairstyle, I do want to say that so that's why it's when you are coming off of the scalp, you want to make sure it's not too tight. In general, you want to make sure that your braids are not too tight. You will see that my son will be basically part there a little bit more just tender in certain areas. He will express it. He has no problem showing you guys where is more. He is tender-headed. I do tend to braid normal. A little bit more tighter, but not together tight to the point where anybody is having bumps as far as or anything like that. Which you will see. And I do like to ask my clients, but you see, I'm just parting and I'm molding. If it's tight and if it is tight, I like to loosen it, go against it with my rat tail away from the section that I plan on braiding. But here I am working on the second braid. And I am just going to be braiding it down. Again, I start off with 3 pillars. And as I braid, and I just take my time. I do not rush the braid. So if you want to see this live, you can literally tell when you are rushing a braid, because it'll be more of a pulling look, my thoughts, and it won't be like just sitting as a formed braid. Like I hope that makes sense. But yeah, and I'm just braiding. I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing when braiding and grabbing more hair. Of course, it is sped up a bit because I'm literally just showing you guys how I'm doing this hairstyle. But in general, this hairstyle probably took me about an hour and a half super fast. To complete. Mainly because I was filming. It probably would have took me again. I used my braiding gel or less
but I don't like to
when
use
filming,
too much.
it takes a little bit more
because
time.
I like to be able
because I really
to
want to be able to
get my
capture
fingers through
different angles for
the
you
hair
guys.
quite
Plus, I'm
easily.
laughing.
But
I'm
I
doing all
do
types of
mold
stuff.
it
If you
a
want to
little
catch the
bit
live
on
of
the
me
scalp
doing this
part,
hairstyle,
and then I
just
just
click
braid.
it
And when you
in
get
the
to the
right
nape, you want to
hand
make sure
part.
it's not too
At the end
tight
of
for
this
your
video, I'll
client,
also give
because
my
it can really
before
pull
thoughts
right
before
there
I
and to
started
really
doing this
take your
hairstyle
time.
thoughts when doing
And
something
yeah,
like this. You
and
will
my
see me
son,
turn on
he's
my
just
son's
talking so
head because
much
he
crap
likes to
in this
do whatever
video,
you want to
but
do,
that's
but I
what
do
we
not
do.
treat
We
my
like to
clients
play
like
in that
this
way.
in
But yeah,
general. But
continue
with
to
him,
watch.
I have to constantly kind of maneuver him to just make sure he's in the angle that I need him to be when doing this hairstyle. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and continue to watch. You definitely want to see my thoughts. I'm giving a general thought of what braiders typically think of hairstyles like this, and why we like to do them. I like hairstyles that challenge me, but yeah. And again, continue to watch. Now that I've completed the first section with the 3 braids, now I'm beginning the second section, which is going to be 2 braids. I parted from the middle part in an angle, which you will see later, and I'm just braiding. As I was braiding this portion, I ran out of space, so I will not be completing this braid, but I will be showing how I do the other side, just to show you guys more footage of me doing this hairstyle. And now you see I am doing the last braid, because remember I said the first section has 3 and the second section on this side has 2, and it will be the same on the other side as well. I am showing you guys this angle simply because remember in the beginning I said in the back the braids become more closer together due to the nape being a lot more skinnier. This is what I want to show on top of me just showing you guys how I completed the last braid on this side. You see it is 5 braids in total, and there'll be another 5 on the other side. So I did braid on the other side like I did the first section with the 3 braids. Once I got done with that, I went on the other side and did that section as well, just to make sure that everything is symmetrical. So that is a quick pro tip that I do want to add in there. I did not complete one whole section and didn't move on to the other side. I wanted to make sure that each side was parted off and pre-parted so that way everything looked close to identical as possible. And now you see me working on the last section, which is at the top part. So I do want to say I worked on the first side on that side, and then I went over to the other side and did those three. And then I went back on the other side and did the two. And now I'm back on this side and I'm doing the last two. Because I wanted to be able to see when and how I curved and make sure it was symmetrical. So I would say if you are doing identical sides, that is the best way in rhyme, at least for me, is to work on section by section, especially because it gets skinnier the more you go down as far as braiding towards the nape back part of your client's head. So to make it clear, I did this section of the three right here that you see after I did the three on the other side. Now that I've completed all of the braids, I am now securing the ends with rubber bands. I'm not putting them too tight because you can really break off your client's hair. I'm just wrapping around a couple of times just to make sure that his braids do not unravel. And I'm just doing all of the finishing touches that I typically do on most of my hairstyles that I do, which is oiling the scalp, adding the rubber bands, and etc. I do want to say that I'm loving this particular product, which I'll be showing you guys me using on his head. But as of right now, I'm just using plain old black rubber bands and I'm just securing his ends. Then I'm going over it with some Blue Magic. And I am just putting it all throughout his parts so he don't have to worry about this at all. I do want to say that this hairstyle will last 3 weeks as long as you're wearing a do-rag to bed and a shower cap to shower. Here's the product of this scalp relief spray that I like to spray all over my client's hair. Then I go over it with the Pump It Up Spritz just to make sure no flyaways or anything want to pop out anytime soon and that the braids stay nice, fresh, and crisp. Then I go over it with this oil sheen And yeah, and you want to make sure you get a nice little taper just to really make this look more polished. Now I'm about to show you some raw footage of my live, of my thoughts.
That's not gonna do it.
Pray for me. As a braider, I literally hate doing the same sides, like identical. Most braiders probably do hate that, and y'all don't know it. Oh, it's a good outcome, but it's one, people's head ain't identical. So let's just start there. Like, people's face isn't identical, the hands not identical. It's all not identical. For some reason, people always want identical.
I don't like gentleness.
It may look identical, but it's not. Even though this was a challenge for me, I still like the outcome. Here's a playlist of some more hairstyles. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. See you in the next one. Peace and hair grease. Bye.